This is round 2 for the Tinker Mask, our second build. Kind of the first thing I thought about making, but I just figured let me get my little striker build out of the way. I've heard a lot of the comments, I've read them all. I know I need to switch that second talent on the striker build, but it is what it is. I actually did test it. Works really well. Actually really fun. But we're on to ongoing directive. So of course we'll get to the Tinkerer first. You get the talent. I'm sure we all know the talent already. 2 talents on a weapon. No swapping talents. No named or exotic weapons. So now I decided to go with ongoing directive. I've really been feeling ongoing directive just like in the past month. It's been really fun to use. And this is another one that I'm sure most of us know how it works, but we'll do a quick rundown. We get some status effects on there, 15%. We get 30% reload speed. That is the biggest clutch part of this build because we will be using an LMG, so that 30% reload speed is extremely helpful. We all know how ongoing directive works. We shoot a status affected enemy and they get a mark. After we kill that marked enemy, we get our hollow point ammo, which will make enemies bleed when we shoot them, and of course amplifying our weapon damage by 20% to enemies that are bleeding. So now on this, I have the chest piece. This is rolled to critical hit damage. I have a critical hit damage mod on there, and this comes with the chest piece talent that allows us to increase that amplified weapon damage to 50% instead of the 20%. So now we get 50% amplified damage on bleeding enemies. Of course, it doesn't apply to the group, but the first part does. This part doesn't. So we get 50%, and of course, if you are running with a group, it helps them as well because they get the ammo. Anyone they shoot at is bleeding. It's all just status effects all over the place. So now I'll quickly show you what I'm running with ongoing directive, the pieces. We are running the holster. This is rolled to critical hit damage with a weapon damage core. The knee pads, critical hit chance with a weapon damage core. The gloves, critical hit chance with a blue core. I usually put one random blue core on there. In the gameplay, I see the difference. I definitely survive a lot more. I'm sure if I was just a bit better at the game, I wouldn't need any blue cores, but I'd throw the one blue core on there. Ideally, obviously, this should be all red because it's pretty much a straight DPS check in a way. But yeah, this is what we have. We have the blue core. So now with this, we decided to round out our stats with the Cheska backpack. We get the 8% critical hit chance on the brand set. We have this roll to double crit with a critical hit chance mod on there. Now, with the talent, I decided to go with Unstoppable Force. Killing an enemy increases total weapon damage by 5% for 15 seconds. Stacks up to 5 times, so that's 25% increased weapon damage at max stacks for Unstoppable Force. There were a couple other talents that could have worked with the build. I was testing other ones. I'm not sure if they were hitting as hard. They didn't feel like they were. I would go to control points and just test it out. And Unstoppable Force just felt like I was killing things a lot quicker. So I just stuck with it. But let me know if you guys use a different talent on a backpack. If you are running something similar, any ongoing directive build, I'm really curious to know what backpack talent you would run with it. But now we get to the main event, and that is our weapons. I decided to go with the GR9 because this thing is just a beast. A huge mag, 250 rounds in the mag, 750 RPM, 106k damage. So now I have this roll damage to armor on here as my attribute, and of course I put on the talent Sadist. Sadist amplifies our weapon damage by 30% to bleeding enemies. The second part doesn't really matter because of ongoing directive. We get another 30%, so we get 50% from ongoing directive, another 30 from Sadist. That sits at 80% amplified damage with these two things alone. Now, the awesome thing about this weapon, honestly, is that high mag. This high mag, you don't have to worry about running out of the bleed ammo. I saw in my last video a lot of people were saying to use an LMG on ongoing directive, and I see why. That huge mag size, you never have to worry about kind of applying a status effect again because you just have so much ammo. So this works really well. It's pretty awesome. But now the secondary talent we decided to run was actually Pressure Point. Just because this amplifies our weapon damage by an additional 15% to enemies that are under a status effect. All the enemies we're shooting at will have a status effect on there, so we're going to have another 15%. That brings us up to 95% amplified damage Now, this was another one where I was just going through other talents, trying to figure out what worked. And like I said, this is another one where when I was shooting and just playing the game, it didn't feel like it was hitting as hard with other talents. It could be in my mind. I'm not a numbers guy. For all I know, maybe other talents are more ideal, but this one kind of felt the best, and I think it worked out really well. You'll see in the gameplay. I definitely have moments where I definitely almost die a few times. It happens. To top things off with this build, we decided to run Gunner. Gunner gives us the opportunity to use the Banshee Pulse, and that's the beginning of our engagements. We're hitting people with the Banshee Pulse, we're applying this status effect of Disorient, we're killing that enemy, and then we get our bleed ammo, and then we're good. We kind of don't need the talent after this, especially with that huge mag size on the weapon, but you know, you got to keep it. You might die here and there, you're going to have to restart and get your ammo back. Now, the second skill we decided to use was actually the Smart Cover. The smart cover is awesome just because you get that increased weapon handling with damage to targets out of cover. So this whole thing just kind of wrapped itself up in a really nice gift. It worked really well going with an LMG and just getting more damage on top of that. It makes the GR9 just absolutely beam. But now let's head over to our stats. As you can see, we're sitting at 51% critical hit chance. I'm sure I could bring that up, sacrifice a little bit of critical hit damage and increase that, but I thought it felt pretty good. I didn't have to worry about it too much. But there you have it. That is the ongoing directive build that I've put together with the Tinkerer. What are you guys using with the Tinkerer on the ongoing directive? Please comment down below. I appreciate the comments. I see a lot of opinions, a lot of different perspectives, and honestly, it's awesome. This is what the game's all about, right? We make different builds. We all kind of throw our 2 cents in there, and we do what we can to help each other get all of our builds even better. So, yes, comment down below. We'll get into some gameplay. I hope you all enjoy, and I'll see you all on the next one.